Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Man-E-Faces. Hero, Robot, Monster. The man of many faces arrives in the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. Man-E-Faces comes in the standard Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging. The back shows off more figures in the line, as well as gives us a brand new bio for the character. Oh yeah, and mine sports this nice tear right here.
Alright guys, now before we even get started with the actual review, I wanted to show you this. Yep. Once again, Mattel has removed the secret accessory from the review samples, so that I cannot spoil it for you guys. So yes, Man-E-Faces is supposed to include a secret accessory. I have no idea what it is, and it doesn't look like we'll be finding out anytime today. In case you guys are wanting me to check, I mean, Mattel completely cut that section off of the blister inside, so we can't even tell what the shape of it is or anything like that. We are completely clueless, so sorry guys, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer before we find out exactly what Man-E-Face's secret accessory is.
Out of the box, I'm pretty impressed with Man-E's overall appearance. I always thought the design of this character was a cool one, and once again the Four Horsemen have done a great job of updating the vintage figure design. Now earlier in the year, Mattel asked fans to vote on if they wanted the figure's skin tone to be more flesh-colored like the original cardback art, or more orange to represent his look in the vintage figure and especially in the 2000X figure. The fans actually voted to have a tint of skin that was more in the middle of those two options, but I must say that looking at this figure up close, he appears a lot paler than I thought he would. It's definitely more of a flesh tone. Just look at him standing next to He-Man.
Alright guys, let's take a closer look at Man-E-Faces here. So first up, we'll do the old articulation test. He's got the standard articulation that we're used to seeing on the Masters of the Universe Classics figures. We got the ab crunch, which works pretty nicely. We got the waist twist. He can sitting position pretty good. He's got the same loincloth piece that we've seen on guys like Roboto and Optic, so if you are familiar with those guys, you know exactly pretty much what you're getting here. But the articulation on the legs is pretty good. Everything seems nice and tight. The ankle joints are very tight. We got the clicks here. However, they don't have the covered ankle joints. It's the same that we've already seen, like I said before, on guys like Optic. And these shoulders do appear to be straight, so it doesn't look like we have backwards shoulders. The biceps turn perfectly around. There's no hindered movement. So everything looks pretty good on that front. Now, as I just mentioned, a lot of this figure is a reuse of parts we've already seen before with characters like Roboto, Optic, and even Trapjaw. From the waist down, he is exactly the same as Optic and Roboto. The majority of his arms, from his biceps all the way down to his hands, is exactly the same as Optic and Trapjaw and Cronus. It does look like he's got brand new shoulders though, with the stripes going on there. That I have not noticed that on any of the other characters, so it does appear that those are brand new. And then of course the torso itself is a brand new piece because we've got the sculpted on harness. It does look like it's a separate piece, but it is attached on the back and it is glued, so there's no removing the harness. And then of course you've got the part that goes up to the helmet that is also attached to the torso. So the majority of the figure is reuse of parts from Optic, Trapjaw, Roboto, but we do got some new parts on there, so that's kind of cool. So obviously, one of the big key things about Man-E-Faces is his action feature. The guy with 3 different faces. And of course, this does work exactly like the vintage figure and the 2000X figure. He's got the small purple knob on the top of his head, and by turning the knob, you can easily rotate between human mode, robot mode, and monster mode. So It's very cool to see that Mattel did leave this feature intact. This is one of those characters who I feel that the action feature is essential. So it's a very good thing that the action feature is still here for Man-E-Faces. Now here's something that I wasn't quite sure if this was going to be or not, but yes, he does have a removable head. As you can see, the peg is different. This is not the same kind of removable head we've seen on any other figure so far. It actually has a bit of a, I guess it's an octagonal shape peg that plugs into the same kind of hole in the bottom of the triple heads, and it is very easily removed. It is a little loose. It's not too bad, but just so you guys know, it's not super tight on there. It's not like you have a bad bobblehead issue or anything like that, but it is really easily removable. And that way you can actually see how the rotating process works. Now this part is not removable. Oh, I guess it is. I did not tug hard enough before, so there you go. You can actually pull the peg right out the top, and you can see the three faces that fit on the inside. So this really has got me thinking a little bit. Obviously, Man-E-Faces is going to come with a secret accessory, a bonus accessory. And now that I can see that he's got a removable head, and now that I can see that even that piece comes out of the inside of the helmet, kind of makes me wonder, you think that secret accessory is going to be an additional 3 faces? Might be kind of cool. I guess time will tell.
The head sculpts are pretty well done on this figure. I'm especially fond of the monster head. All 3 heads do a great job of capturing the look of the vintage figure, although the eyes on the human head are painted black this time around instead of the white that they used to be. That threw me off just a bit at first. It's also worth noting that because of the action feature, the head is set pretty deep within the helmet, and there are shadows cast on the face because of this. Also, since the entire thing is removable, that knob on top, even when it's pressed all the way down, still has a pretty small yet noticeable gap. It's not flush up against the helmet. It's not really that big of a deal in my opinion, but I still wanted to point that out. Man-E-Faces also includes an update of his classic orange ray gun. The gun is pretty solid and is not as gummy or flexible as we've seen on some of the other weapons in the past. He can hold the gun firmly with his right hand. But just be warned, the left hand is a little too open to really hold onto the gun. Sure, you can sit the gun in his left hand, but he doesn't have a very tight grip on it, and therefore it's quite loose and will probably fall out. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here's Man-E-Faces alongside his vintage counterpart. You can really see the likeness between the two, but also the difference in the skin tone. And as you can see, each of his faces are very similar, yet nicely updated. And here he is alongside the 2000X version of Man-E-Faces. Big difference in the skin tones here, but same general design is still intact. Overall, I'm very happy with how this one turned out. He's got such a cool and unique look to him, and the fact that his very important action feature remains intact makes me very happy. He's just got this really great look to him that I feel the Four Horsemen really nailed. Now, I just can't wait to find out what that secret accessory is. Man-E-Faces goes on sale in August, only on MattyCollector.com, and as part of the 2011 Eternian Collectors Club subscription. Until next time.